Well, welcome to the Tuesday edition of Juan's World, and yes indeed I'm cooking, and you can see here some dumplings that I made using salmon and leeks as a filling, and I used round dumpling wraps rather than square ones, so I'm going to show you how I made these delicious dumplings which I'm just about to eat. Well, okay, I've tasted a couple because I couldn't wait, and they are indeed delicious. They're salmon and leeks with round dumpling wrappers. I'm going to show you how to make the filling and how to wrap them in different ways. When you look at them now, they don't look quite as maybe aesthetically pleasing as when I first made them, but they go down a treat. Let's get into it. Here we have step one. I've got some salmon from the market. Not the best salmon by any means, not the kind of steaks that you could grill or do something with and just eat as they are. They're mostly what they call salmon bellies. That is very, very bony bits that they have sliced off when they made the nice fillets. But they're good enough for dumplings, and so I have poached them in a stock that's full of Cambodian spices, including hot peppers, galangal, lemongrass, and what have you. And the next step is to strip the fish from the bones so that I can make a filling for the dumplings. So I've taken the salmon out of the broth, and it's in a pot now cooling, so that I can strip the fish from the bones. And now over here you see the broth, which I'm going to use to cook the dumplings in. It's spicy, fishy, oily, generally nice. Now, to prepare the final phase of the filling, I need to sweat off some fairly finely chopped up leeks, green and white parts. I'm going to next strip the fish from the bones and then add the leeks, and that will be my filling. This is the salmon stripped from the bones. Fairly fiddly process because the bellies are pretty bony, but they're also cheap. This amount of salmon was less than $2, and if I bought a proper fillet of salmon to do this with, it would be $6 or $7 here. Still pretty cheap by standards of UK and US, but you know, $2 is better than $6. And I've added the leeks in. I'm going to mix it all together, and now put it in the refrigerator for a while, just to keep it, not because it needs to be particularly refrigerated at this moment. And then I'm going to make the dumplings this afternoon using round dumpling wrappers. That's in fact part of the point of this chameleon cooking lesson, is that the dumplings I made last time were with square wrappers. Well, now we're going to see what we can do with round ones. All right, so you can see I've got my workspace prepared and the filling in the bowl, and I have here my wonton skins, round, bought at the store because I'm not very good at making them. Maybe in a future video I'll show you my pasta making skills, such as they are. But I need a pasta maker, which I don't have right now. So, and I'm also not sure whether you can see what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start with the round skin. I'm going to place a little bit of filling in the middle. Can't be too much because otherwise it will leak out when they're cooked. And what you have to decide is what shape you're going to make. Not sure that shape matters that much, except aesthetically. And I've already made one, you can see here, which I'll make a duplicate of. Need to put some water around the edges because you want them to stick, and then draw up the sides and make a little package. It could not be simpler. And of course, if you think at all about shapes, then you'll realize, okay, tell me what you would do otherwise. One would be to just make a semicircle. Again, water around the edges. Fold over. And if you have the skills of a Chinese dumpling maker, then you will know how to crimp the edges to make them pretty. You'll also realize that I'm not a skilled dumpling maker, but it looks okay, right? Now what else can we do? Well, think about the square package. Right, so we're going to start by folding over into a semicircle. Same as before. Again, think about what we did. We took the ends and we folded them over. So we can do that. Now, if you go to Chinese restaurants in the UK or the US, you'll recognize that as a wonton, right? What else can we do? If I were a skilled videographer and editor, I would pause the video at this point, but leave you looking at the round wonton skin with some filling in it and say, okay, what will we do now? What will you do now? So one of the things that you can do is to fold over, right? Fold over the ends, but then bring them together to make a kind of star shape. All right, do you see? Now, at this point, I'm going to leave the rest to your imagination. I'm going to make a few more, and I'm going to cook them in the broth and have lunch. So here's everything merrily bubbling away, and in just a few minutes, I'm going to have my lunch. I'm going to serve the dumplings in the broth, a little bit of broth, because it's kind of my comfort food, dumplings in broth. And I'm going to add a little bit of sambal ulek, which is Indonesian hot pepper, because I like it. There's your cooking lesson of the day. I'm off to eat my lunch, and meanwhile, please tell your friends about my videos. Please like and subscribe. And on Friday, I'll be back with more ruminations about something or other. No idea now. Have a good week.